Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And welcome to episode 2 of Penitentiary Tricks, right? When folks trick the vice lord out of the phone, right? Now listen to me. I'll make it plain and clear to you. See, Fat Mac done been told when he got to this compound, right? He done been told, don't come with no games, right? Well, ain't nobody got no time to be playing no games with you, because every time you get into something, you trying to trick somebody out of something, you don't want to do good business, and all this and that, and ain't nobody finna be going to war with you, with nobody about something that you done, right? So, he couldn't help himself, though. But he tried to pull it off without anybody knowing. And right now, don't nobody know what he did. Don't nobody know what he did. But let me get back to the vice lord brother that he tricked out this phone. This vice lord brother, like I say, he's smooth. He's smooth. He like to kick it. But now he know he got to get another phone. But he don't want nobody to really know what he just did, how he done got tricked out of the phone. Now don't forget, officer number 2 is the only one that know he ain't got a phone. Right? Officer number 2 the only one to know. Now officer number 1 don't know nothing about him getting tricked out of the phone. All she knows is that she did business with Fat Man. She made a couple of phone calls and she got her bread. So she ain't got nothing to do with that. So the vice lord dude, he done went to the 5-star. That's who's over him. And told him, man, he had to get rid of the phone because the police knew he had the phone and they was coming. You know what I'm saying? Now, he didn't go into detail about the issue. But the 5-star said, man, why don't you just bring it to me? He said, man, I wasn't even thinking about that, man. He said, man, I was just tripping. I just went on and got rid of it. I'm going to get me a nut. So he tell him the whole story. He said, man, you should have just changed the number. You ain't had to do all that. You could have just changed the number. Now, dude sitting there thinking like, dang, could have just changed the number. Then put the phone up for a while, but he wouldn't have been able to do it. He couldn't sit down. That's how it is when you got them phones. You can't stay off of them. Can't stay off of them, whether the numbers changed or not. So anyway, he trying to be real discreet about coming up with another phone. And the only way you're going to be able to do that, be real super discreet, is you're going to have an officer, somebody that work at the penitentiary, to bring it to you. Because if you deal with another inmate, listen to what I'm trying to tell you now. If you deal with another inmate in the penitentiary on anything, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell somebody. And then they're going to tell somebody, and then they're going to tell somebody. It's the Brady Bunch effect. Before you know it, everybody know what you're doing, but ain't nobody going to say that they know what you're doing, but everybody know and everybody watching you. And then it's going to crumble at the end of the day, because one of them people that know what you're doing, 9 times out of 10 is snitching, talking to the police, telling the police everything, and they gonna get you, and you ain't gonna know what happened. You're gonna be thinking that the one person that you told on you, but that one person that you told didn't tell on you, because that one person, well, he really did, because that one person told this person, and they told this person, and told this person. Just like the Energizer Bunny, just keeps going and going and going. So that's how you're gonna end up flipped in a situation like that. But what he did, he knew he had to get an officer, so he go to officer number 1, because he hearing what everybody else know. Officer number 1, shaking the spot. Do some things for some change, man. You feel me? I ain't talking about getting no tail or nothing like that. You feel me? She about her bread. And she ain't got time to be worrying about no feelings or nothing. It's about that bread with her, that moolah, the money. Can you pay? So he bumped down on, because he had been getting his money when he had his phone, right? So he got money. And at this time, a phone gonna cost you a stack. I'm telling you, it's gonna cost you a stack. It's gonna cost you a stack. And look here, back then, when it was first starting to hit that, I had to go from a stack to 1,500 like that. Don't let them find out you desperate. Listen to me, don't let them find out you desperate. Get you like that. They go out there, they get these phones, they find them, they get them for the cheap, and then they bring them in and get $1,000 for them. So that's how she hit him. But he went with the 1,000. He had the money. He wasn't worrying about that. He didn't have cash money. You know what I'm saying? But he had, you know what I'm saying, enough money out on the town that he could get it to her. He just told her, get the phone. I got you. Go by the house, pick up the money. She was like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the money first. But he let her know, don't play with me. She let him know, I'm not playing. But he didn't trust that. So when she went by the house, listen to me, when she went by the house to get the money, she don't even know. And them vice lord, they ain't playing. She took a picture of her, took a picture of the car, took a picture of the license plate. She ain't tripping because she gonna do good business. You feel what I'm saying? But they gonna make sure they secure they down. So she get the phone, she come back up into the penitentiary. She give it to him. She give him the phone. Now, they cool, they got rapport. She like his swag. She like how he get down and all this and that. You know what I mean? Now, he go holler at Fat Mac and let him know, look, it's back. I got me a phone. If you need to use it, let me know. Now, Fat Mac got to play his role. All right, then, appreciate that, bro. That's what's up. But see, here's the thing. See, when you got your own, it's hard for you to stay in habit of what you was doing when you didn't have it. So he ain't really hollering at the vice lord dude like at you and his phone, this and that. He letting him know I'm straight. But the vice lord dude paying attention, he said he don't see him on the pay phone, on the state phone, and he ain't really coming out of the cell. He's like, man, he must have him a phone. But then he thinking, who would have done business with Fat Mac? Nobody. Nobody would have done business with Fat Mac. So he kicking it with the gal, and now the gal, you know, she giving him her number. He calling her at home after, you know what I'm saying, she go home and they talking and kicking it, and they start to develop some feelings for each other. You know. And after about 3 or 4 months, she get to running her mouth talking about Fat Mac. He done come up in the conversation one day, and she said, yeah, Fat Mac, well, he sure will try to get somebody. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what you talking about? So she running her mouth. She running her mouth. She said, yeah, he gave me $250 a few months back just to call this number, you know what I'm saying, at this phone. And he was like, oh, yeah, he really ain't interested like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, but she keeps talking. She keeps talking. You feel me? And now he's starting to be like, well, what was you calling the number for? Some gal for him and this, that, and the third? She's like, nah, it wasn't no gal. He was just trying to spook somebody, you know? Spook somebody. And then his brain went off, you know, that light bulb. And he said, what was the number? And she gave him the number. He recognized the number off top, and that was his number. So he was like, for real? She was like, yeah, she gave him the full rundown. And then he asked her about officer number 2. He said, you straight with officer number 2? And she was like, yeah, that's my gal. We kick it, whoop-de-woo, this, that, and the third, right? You know, but she do her thing and I do mine. She get all jealous and be like, why? Why you asking about her? So then he tell her what had happened to him. And that was his number. And she was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. So now, they done pieced it together. Fat Mac done played him at the phone using officer number 1 and officer number 2. And now, he trying to figure out, do I take it to the 5-star? So she tell him, no, I'll take care of it. He like, oh, no. We don't do it like that. We don't put the police in our business. She took offense to that, but she understood. She is the police. So he said, look, I'm going to take care of it, though, but don't say nothing about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't say nothing about it, right? And she said she wouldn't say nothing about it to nobody. They still kicking it. So that next morning, he trying to weigh it up. If I holler at the 5-star and tell him this and tell him that, it's going to cause this and that, right? Because at this particular time, it's more of us than them. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. It's more of us than them. And ain't nobody running. Don't do no running, y'all. Don't do no running. So this is what they do. When he go to the 5-star, talk to the 5-star, he give him the whole blueprint. So the 5-star sent his number 2 down to talk to officer number 2 and officer number 1. On the low, they finding out, is this true? They trying to figure out the whole scheme. So the 5-star, he pull up on my COS, Chief of Security, for those of you that don't know. He pull up on him and he tell him the whole blueprint. COS come and tell me, you got to be kidding. Said Fat Mac has struck again. He was like, bro, yeah, man. Fat Mac did it, man. He did it again. I'm like, man, the man just ain't gonna learn nothing. He ain't gonna learn for nothing. So my COS said, man, what you want me to do? I said, man, what they want? And they want the phone back. They want the phone back. So now, don't get it twisted. I want to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing. But in here, back then, it's a cost to do the right thing. So my thing is, I'm not going to hand him over to the vice lord because he's one of the guys. You understand? And I really don't care that he got their phone. What I care about is that it could cause a war between us and we be going at it because of him, because of something he did and nobody sanctioned it. But if they want their phone back, it's going to cost them. They'll have to pay for that. So I tell COS, I said, man, go let them know, man, we'll take care of it, but it's going to be for a cost. Because we got to put in work. We're going to have to push Fatback to the back. And that ain't going to be easy to do, man. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to fight back, we going to go on and get him because he was told when he got here, don't play no games. And now we got to put that, put that down like we said we was going to put it down, but we ain't finna put it down for the vice lords. You feel me? We're not finna send him to the back and then just hand them their phone. We don't do no work like that for them. They got to pay for the phone. We're going to put in work because that's what we going to do for what he did, but they want that phone. They're going to have to come on down with some bread or we going to keep the phone. It's simple as that. And my COS, he was like, sure, we need to just keep it anyway. We're going to push Fat Mac to the back and we're going to keep this phone. So I'm starting to think, I'm like, you know what? Sound like a pretty good idea to me. We push him on to the back and we keep the phone. We don't even give them the opportunity to buy it back. Why do that? Why give them the opportunity to buy it back? Ain't no point in it, is it? Not really, from where I'm sitting anyway. So I tell the COS and my number 2, I said, man, make sure that we secure on everything. And I said, put that goon squad together and go in there, have him hit Fat Mac up, tell him he got to go, he ain't nothing no more. Get that phone, get the codes, get everything before you do it. So brother was like, man, he ain't going to give up them codes. And I said, beat him then. Beat him until he give them up. Beat him until he give it up. As simple as that. Don't let him up out of the room until he give them up. And that's just that on that. So they go in the room about 6 of them. Ain't even no room to move in there. Like I told you, Fat Mac about 360. So there ain't no moving around. It's just to his advantage in this small area. But I tell him, man, take them things with you. Let's see what kind of heart he got. So they looking at me like, you tripping, because in that small area, you can end up sticking yourself. I said, well, get him to come to the big cell. Now you get him in that big cell, he might have some problems because you can surround him. So they get him to the big cell, tell him they need to talk to him. They don't even tell him what it's about. They ain't spooking him or nothing. So he come to the big cell, he in there talking. And as they're in there talking, 1 or 2 more brothers come in. They keep coming in. Bro, what y'all talking about? What's going on? Totally rocking him to sleep. Totally rocking him to sleep. He don't even understand the numbers is building up. Because he don't have no reason to think that anybody knows what's going on, because ain't nobody confronting him. Ain't nobody said nothing to him about no phone. And then when it's about 8 brothers in there, folks hit him with that thing. Said, let me ask you something, bro. He said, what's going on with you and the vice lord about that phone, man? Fat Mac eyes get big as a $50. I said, what you talking about, folk? I don't know nothing about no phone. He said, bro, didn't we tell you when you came down here, don't come down here with them shenanigans and stuff like that? Because we ain't doing it like that. He like, folk, what you talking about? Trying to sound all sympathetic, want some sympathy and all. Folk, what you talking about, man? I don't know nothing about no phone. And then he stand up. Folks and them stand up, so sit back down. Then he take a look around the room. He know he been tricked. He know everybody is in there for him. Everybody knew what was finna happen. So he sit back down. Bend his head down, he's shaking his head. He real big dude, right? So his legs is spread wide open so he can sit down. He got his hands in front of his stomach and he's patting his fingers, you know what I'm saying, together, and he's trying to figure out what to do. He said, man, I'm in trouble, ain't a folk. And that's when they hit him with this. Let me tell you, this is the line that hit him and knocked all the wind out. He said, man, don't call me folks no more. So he raised up his head and he looked at him. He got that look on him. He trying to look hard because that's what gangsters do. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with that, when you're dealing with gangsters, a lot of it is showmanship. It's putting on, right? So he look up and he give him that look because he know he can't look up and start crying because they're going to beat him. They're going to beat him anyway. But he can't do that. He can't show that he's scared. But they can see it. Predators can smell it. I'm telling you now, just like out in the wild. They said, where the phone at? But what he didn't know is folks and the two other brothers is in his cell right now, flipping that thing like the police looking for that phone and the charger. And they find it. They bring it to the cell, the big cell. Man, turn it on, man. What's the code? He wouldn't do it. Man, folks from the left side of him hit him with that thing. Pow! Hit him right in his jaw. Man, folks, man, y'all tripping. I mean, don't call me folks no more. So now he stand up, he huffing and puffing, but he take a glance back at that door. He looking for that exit. He trying to get up out of there. Man, you got to get through 3 more brothers to get past them to get out that door. So he tell him, he said, man, give me that code, man, and you can leave up out of here, man. It's as simple as that, man. So about that time, 2 of the brothers that's at the door, they pulled them butchers out. And when he seen them butchers, now he know these 2 brothers got that reputation. They just like doing it. They just like doing it. They don't care who it is they stick. They just like to stick people. I don't understand it. I don't understand. I'm telling you now, there's some brothers that's real sick. And these 2 brothers were sick. So when they pull out them butchers, they tell them, look, man, ain't nobody finna ask you no more. And then they start walking toward them, but they spread out like them hyenas. You seen them hyenas on them shows, you know, the Circle of Life, when they spread out, they trying to surround the cub and all this and that. And they got the slob, the spit running out their mouth, and they getting around them and all this and that, right? I ain't trying to say slob to disrespect no blood and nothing like that. It just came out of my mouth. I want to be respectful when I say that, but it was spit coming out of their mouth, so they circle around them. And they got that look in their eyes, like they finna pounce on him. And he looked back, he said, man, here go the code. He started calling the code out. Bro hitting the phone. We got action. That thing opened up. So he walk out the cell. He bring the phone to me. I look at it, make sure everything's straight. I get a phone to my number 2. I said, man, y'all deal with that. I said, where he at? They said, he's still in the cell with brother now. I said, what is he still doing in there? He need to be leaving up out of here right now. It wasn't 30 seconds later. I can hear the scuffling. They down at their jacket. He trying to fight. All of a sudden I hear somebody say, oh, stop. I'm gonna leave. Man, brother done hit him with that thing. I said, oh, Lord. Now I'm with it. Don't get it twisted. Back then, I'm with it. But look, one thing I do know about it being in the penitentiary, when you do stuff like that, you ain't nobody in here no doctor, ain't nobody got no surgeon's degree. So when you hitting somebody, it's always a possibility that something can go wrong. So when they hit him, I get up, I come up out the cell. I run to the front door, I look, I said, hold up. I hit the, don't get me twisted, y'all. I ain't scared enough, but you know, I ain't trying to catch no more cases at this time. So I hit the window, I said, hold up, let him up out of there. So he look at me. He said, man, Joe T, you gonna do me like it? Man, look here, man, I did him like they doing them all, man. I turned my back on him and went straight to the payphone on the wall. Sat down, took the phone off the hook, faking like I'm finna call somebody. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna call nobody, but I'm going on about my business. Ain't no love. Ain't no love with this thing, y'all. So he go to his cell. So a couple of other brothers go down and say, man, pack your stuff up, man, and get up out of here, man. You need to go on and tell the police you need to roll, bro. Simple as that. You need to roll. So he ended up packing up his stuff. So brother and them, they so impatient, they ain't even waiting. They go to the police, tell the police, hey man, we got one over here checking in, man. Get him up out of here, man. So the police looking like, what's going on? I said, man, the man checking in, man. Go on over and holler at him, man. So the police come over and say, you straight? Call him by his government name. He said, no, man, I need to leave. He said, what you mean you need to leave? Do you need protection? He didn't want to say it. He didn't want to say it. So a couple of the brothers said it for him. Yeah, he need protection. Sucker, get him up out of here. So the police hit the button on him. Next thing you know, about 4 or 5 officers rushed the unit. What's going on? The officer in the policy, man, we got one that need checking in, going to protective custody. So he get escorted up out of the unit. He was gone, man. All because of this phone, man. But that's how they get out of here, con artists. Now, some of y'all might be with that. I think you're about that life. I'm telling you, don't be about that life. It ain't no fun. It ain't no fun because it always catches up with you. That's the point of this. It always catches up with you. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.